Kate, we're going to give it one more minute and then we can get started.
Hello, everyone. It is my pleasure tonight to welcome you to the Delaware County Technical School's Practical Nursing Program's first virtual open house. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us tonight, and I'm hopeful that this presentation is transformative and the benefits of our program encourage you to pursue practical nursing. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat box, and we will answer them in the Q&A segment at the end of our session. Before we start the session, please answer the poll that will appear on your screen shortly. So I just want to let everybody know that all of the information that I will review tonight is available in complete detail on our newly designed LPN website, dciu.org/LPN. Tonight's presentation, we're going to look at these 5 things. I'm going to do a brief introduction of our panel. I'm going to talk a little bit about why should you become an LPN. I want to do a brief overview of the Delaware County Technical School's Practical Nursing Program. And then I just want to talk a little bit about the Delaware County Technical School's advantage over other programs. And as I said before, we'll end this with the Q&A time at the very end of the slide. So tonight, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Kate McNamara, and I'm the supervisor of the Practical Nursing Program through Delaware County Technical School. We also have Dr. Stephen Boots with us, and he is the director of the Career and Technical Education. We have Dr. Fiola, who is the DCIU Executive Assistant Director. We also have Michael Furline, RN, MBA, Nurse Executive at Brandywine Hall, Genesis Healthcare. We have Casey Jones, Director of Beata Home Health Care. And we also have Jeannie Cavalier Grover, the Delaware County Technical School's Practical Nursing Program Financial Aid Officer. Kimberly Y. Williams may be joining us at some point. She may be held up right now, but she is the Director of Rumal Rehab and Nursing Center. So the next slide. So this is a picture of our program and where we're located. For those of you that don't know, the DCIU is an educational service organization whose mission is committed to developing and delivering quality, cost-effective programs and services to schools and their communities. The Practical Nursing Program fits within the educational framework of the student services under the Delaware County Technical High School's adult programs. The Practical Nursing Program is located at 85 North Malin Road in Broomall, Pennsylvania, and that's a picture of our school right here on the slide. This program is for anyone over the age of 18, no matter what your background. Many of our students are re-entering the workforce, they're parents with children at home, or they're looking to further their education. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Boots if he would say a few words.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for taking the time to participate in our open house. As was indicated, this will be a recording and we will post it on our website. So you can share it with any of your friends or anybody else that is interested in getting the information. I want to say thank you to Ms. McNamara and her staff for participating in this open house. We are thrilled to be able to offer this experience to potential students. We strongly urge you to take advantage of our program. It is a very intensive but short program in terms of 1 year, but very intensive in terms of the information that you receive and the skill set that you receive. So I wish you all the best, and Ms. McNamara and her team will be covering key points in terms of the LPN program, the practical nursing program. I will stay on board the meeting if any questions come up that I can answer, which probably won't happen, being that Ms. McNamara and her team have most of the answers that usually come up in this type of open house. So back to Ms. McNamara.
Thank you, Dr. Woods. So it is my hope that I offer a complete breakdown of the program later this evening. But first, I wanted to share with you the recent accolades the practical nursing program has received from Georgetown University Center on Education and the Workforce. In 2020, right before the pandemic hit, our practical nursing program was recognized as Pennsylvania's top higher education program based on a 10-year net evaluation. To put this in simpler terms, 10 years after enrolling, graduates of our program are earning more than graduates of any other higher ed program in Pennsylvania when factoring in the cost of school. This study included all higher ed programs in the nation, including associate and baccalaureate programs. So our program does offer a quality education at an affordable price, which is within the mission of the DCIU. So now you will hear from Martin Vander Werf. He's a representative from Georgetown University Center on Education and the Workforce to congratulate our program on this achievement.
Hello, I'm Martin Vander Werf. I'm with the Georgetown University Center on Education and the Workforce, and I'm one of the authors of the reports we have done on the return on investment from colleges and college programs. The rankings of college ROI come from data submitted to the College Scorecard, which is a website created about 5 years ago by the U.S. Department of Education. We started looking at the website at the center and trying to determine where students would have the highest earnings based on their programs and credentials. We were looking not just at big four-year colleges and universities, but at smaller colleges and institutions that people don't think about often, but have lots of value for the students that they serve. What we found in general is that students who enrolled in short-term programs often got the most value out of them in the short run. It makes sense because people who spend less time in school have more time to be out in the workforce making money. The Licensed Practical Nursing Program at DCIU is one of the most lucrative certificate programs in Pennsylvania, but also in the nation when you measure it by return on investment over the first 10 years after enrollment. Nursing programs in general hold a lot of promise for students. Earnings are high, and Pennsylvania is expecting a shortage of LPNs by 2030, as are other parts of the country. In addition, 20% of LPNs go on to earn either a bachelor's or a master's degree in nursing. So the increasing demand for nurses will likely drive earnings even higher than present levels, and increasing levels of education like a bachelor's degree will also lead to higher wages. Our research is intended to show people that good career choices are available for potential students at all levels of the American higher education system. The Licensed Practical Nursing Program at DCIU is one of those programs with great value at a low cost.
So now that you've heard some of the exciting things that our program has to offer, you're probably wondering, Why should I become a licensed practical nurse? To answer this question, I am going to review what a practical nurse is, and my fellow panelists will discuss the growing need for LPNs and the endless opportunities this career can provide. So to start, what is an LPN? Well, the LPN performs selected nursing acts in the care of the ill, injured, or infirm under the direction of the registered nurse, physician, or dentist. And that's Pennsylvania State Board's definition of a practical nurse. And now more than ever, nurses are essential to our nation's health and well-being. So if you enjoy taking care of people, nursing may be for you. As an LPN, you'll provide patients with quality nursing care and comfort measures. This includes performing numerous nursing tasks and skills, clinical tasks, and offering basic care and assistance to patients in a variety of healthcare settings. LPNs are in high demand. As supervisor of this program for the past 10 years, the last 5 years, I have never gotten more calls from employers asking, where are the LPNs? Can we hire your students? I can guarantee you a job when you're done, because we are constantly getting calls asking, where are the LPNs? We have an advisory board with the Delaware County Technical School Practical Nursing Program, and several of the people that are on the panel tonight are part of our advisory board. Kimberly Williams is the director of the Broomall Rehab and Nursing Center, and it doesn't look like she's with us tonight, but I do want to share with you one thing that she asked us to share with our students and with our faculty, and even with other LPN programs. And that is, she said that the long-term care facilities are no longer, just about taking care of people that are in long-term care. The acuity and the care that those people need are almost what is needed in a hospital. So they have specific floors where they do keep patients that were in the hospital and just came back and need a higher level of acuity with their care. So, she feels sometimes that she wants to make sure that students, when they're in school, do understand that, and that you can learn a lot, of your higher level skills, when you are working in a long-term care facility. So, being as she's not here, that's one thing that I know she would have would have said to you as students. And it's something that, I want to make sure that we get that message out there to everybody because she has asked us to do that. Our next speaker is Casey Jones, and he's from Beata. And Casey has been with us on our advisory team for quite a few years. I will tell you that normally we prefer to do this in person, and we do bring the employers into the the open house so that you get to meet them. There are opportunities for our students now as nursing assistants to work in some of these places, but our focus tonight really is to tell you what the opportunities are for LPN. So I did ask Casey if he would speak a little bit about the opportunities in with Beata for all the opportunities, but mainly the pediatric opportunities.
Of course, and thank you so much for inviting me today. And I'm not surprised to hear that the return on investment is so large with this program. And I know that it was mentioned that by 2023 there will be an increased demand for LPNs. And the reality in the employment market right now is there is an incredible demand for LPNs at this point. So if you do choose to enroll in this program and to obtain that LPN license, myself and many other employers in this region will be competing for your services, as there is just an incredible demand for LPNs and skilled nurses in our region. And I would ask that you do consider Beata as an employment opportunity in the future. Our specific office covers pediatric and young adult clients throughout Delaware County, where we provide one-to-one skilled nursing services either in the school or at a home setting. And Beata has several different specialties, as we have adult nursing offices and home health visit offices throughout the region. And home care is a bit different than facility-based care in the sense that it is one-on-one care. So you do have that one-on-one patient care ratio and the time to really provide the care and develop that relationship with your patient. And there's a lot of flexibility with scheduling in the sense that it's not always like a facility where first shift might be 7 to 3 and second shift is 3 to 11. Every patient that we have has an individualized authorization. So that allows us to offer a lot of flexibility, and you can choose to work whether anything between a 2-hour shift to a double to a 16-hour shift. So you really do make your own schedule, and you find those clients that really have the the diagnosis that you're most passionate about, that you want to learn about, and that clinical piece is also what really sets Bayada apart from a lot of other home care organizations. We do offer fully paid training, and we do really focus on the clinical support to really help you feel comfortable and confident in that one-to-one setting. So I encourage you to join this program, and I hope to have the opportunity to work with you in the future.
Thank you, Casey. And next I have Michael Furline. He is the nurse executive at Brandywine Hall Genesis Healthcare, and he's going to speak about the shortage of LPNs in Pennsylvania and what the LPNs can do for Genesis. And Michael, I guess you're speaking on behalf of all long-term care facilities since Kim wasn't able to get on. So thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thank you. Just want to say LPNs are high demand is probably an understatement. My building and probably generally a lot of long-term care buildings pursue and hire LPNs. I think we're running probably 80-85% of LPNs here, with a lot of facilities hiring individuals from this program and other programs. I've had the opportunity to work with this program and actually have some nurses on board currently that work here, and I've been very satisfied. And including the group is now, I think 27K that are here currently with us in our building. I wish I can get all 27 of them, literally. But LPNs are in demand. It's a very, very need for them. They get to learn a lot of skills in long-term care facilities. You get to see tube feedings, you get to see trach care, you see all types of wounds, total care, bariatric patients, nephrostomy tubes, G tubes, a whole bunch of things. I think you get a great, great learning. And the pay is not bad, I would say as well. Right now here at Brandywine, a new LPN, and quote me, can make up to $37.50. That is very significant. I'm an RN, and when I first graduated 20 years ago, I made $18 an hour. So the demand is there, the need is there, but also too, there's upward mobility with LPNs as well. You're able to progress. Right now, I have a nurse manager who's an LPN. Some of our facilities have LPNs who have been executive directors. So it's a lot of mobility for you to do as an LPN. And to say the need is, there's a need, it's an understatement. You have your pick of the employer. Just like Casey said, we're all gonna be vying for your services once you graduate. And probably before you graduate, we're gonna try to get your services as a CNA or a nursemaid, so that way we have a relationship. But it's a great way to get into nursing. I can tell you this from my own experience. I've had the pleasure of working in Nevada, Phoenix, Delaware. You can move around, you can work anywhere. You can do home care, you can do bedside, you can work with long-term care, pharmaceuticals. The education is limitless where it can take you. So this is a great opportunity, great program, and I think you're making the right choice.
Motion Genie, please call 36.
Thank you, Michael. I like how you stress the fact that you have LPNs who are your charge nurses. I try to tell the students that are here that within a year they can find themselves in a position of leadership, and they look at me as if I'm crazy because we just trained them how to be nurses, and many of them within 6 months to a year are in those positions, and that happens much more quickly for them than it ever did for me as an RN. So I'm always amazed at that.
Well, the reality is, when you think about it, our careers as nurses is one of the few careers that when you go into, you're already in charge. You're in charge of other patients' lives, but also you're directing. So you're usually directing maybe 1 or 2 CNAs. So your first day, you're in that role. It's one of the few careers that actually, you put in a leadership managerial role
from the beginning. Yes. So I state that when we talk about pathways to a meaningful career, because I always tell the students, walk through any door that presents itself, because you never know where it's going to take you. I'm sure that, Michael, you weren't planning to be where you are right now when you went to nursing school. And I can say that for me, I find what I do extremely rewarding, and education is also a part for nurses as you continue with your education. So I ask you to, walk through every door and have every pathway, explore every pathway that comes your way, because obtaining your practical nursing license can be a stepping stone on the pathway towards furthering your education. And many of the graduates from our program have gone on to receive their bachelor's or their master's of science in nursing. So next I want to play a short video, and this video is a video of a student who attended our program years ago. She's somebody that I actually taught, and then I have stayed in touch with her as she has moved on in her career. She is a former PN student who is now working with us as a nursing instructor. And I just want you to hear what she has to say.
My path to become an LPN instructor was a little varied compared to some others. I started out by attempting to go to nursing school right out of high school, and it wasn't really the way that my life needed to go at that point. I ended up struggling for a little bit, trying to find a nursing program that I could get into, and I ended up doing some coursework, pre-coursework, and ended up finding out about the LPN program through my aunt. She worked for the options program for DCIU, and she said that within a year I could become a nurse. And this excited me because I wanted to get working and educated and out there. So I started working for the DCIU program for Head Start. I was their program nurse for many, many years, and I actually moved over to Chester County's Head Start program for many years as an LPN as well. I became a supervisor of their program, and I really enjoyed it, but I started to get that itch that I needed to go back to school. I started my career at Temple University Hospital as a registered nurse, and I spent a lot of time there learning and adapting, and realized I loved teaching. When I was teaching the patients, when I was teaching students, when I was teaching people on the floor as new employees, I really did find my calling. And Kate McNamara reached out to me and said, I have opportunities for part-time instructors. Would you like to come and teach clinical? So I thought, here's another big leap and an opportunity, and I took that leap, and I'm very glad I did so, and I actually just accepted an offer for a full-time position starting in July as well.
I am Stacey Delaney, and this is my DCTS pathway to becoming an LPN.
So Stacy has attended our program. She became an LPN. She worked for a couple years as an LPN, and then she continued her education part-time while she was working, and she got her RN. And then she did come back here and she started to work, and now she's on her way to obtaining her master's degree. So she's a typical of somebody that I was just kind of talking about, where you never know where your path is going to take you. So as I said earlier, I wanted to give you, or I wanted to review the details of our program, but I want you to know that all of the information that I'm going over can be found on our website. And our website is on this slide at the bottom. It's dciu.org/LPN. So I want you to all know that this is a 12-month program with 4 levels, and each level lasts 12 weeks. Classes begin in February and then again in September of every year. It is a full-time program, Monday through Friday. Every class will admit up to 40 students. So in level 1, students are taught the fundamental basic nursing skills necessary to care for a patient. They also learn math for medication administration, anatomy and physiology, and we have a vocational nurse training course that each student will go through. And then in level 2, students will learn basic nutrition, the skills of administering medication, and begin to learn content in med-surg nursing. Students are also introduced to the concepts of mental health in this level. As we move into level 3, our focus is on obstetrical, pediatric, and med-surg nursing. And finally, in level 4, the students will focus on advanced med-surg nursing, psychiatric and cognitive impairment nursing, as well as gerontological nursing. So our clinical rotations take place in healthcare facilities throughout Delaware County and some in Chester County, and we've even gone to Philadelphia. But these clinical rotations are picked and designed to introduce our students to the many settings where they can find themselves working as a practical nurse. A few of these facilities are listed on this slide. And as you can see, we focus here on pediatric, med-surg, and gerontological nursing. Tuition prices reflect each level's course as you move through, but pretty much tuition here, at least for September of 2021, is $21,054, and this is reflected in our financial aid. The total cost of tuition itself is $17,268, but the remainder of the cost includes the computer and IT software that's necessary in each level. As we move on, there are some additional fees, and some of these fees are things like we do require a non-refundable deposit of $1,500, which is due 30 days prior to starting the program. This money is put towards the student's tuition. Your uniforms and books are purchased separately on your own, and that allows you to buy used books or uniforms as needed for as you move into the program. All tuition and fee information can be found on our website, but we do have Jeannie Cavalieri-Grover, the program's financial aid consultant, and she's here to discuss tuition and the cost benefits of joining our program. Jeannie?
Hello.
Hi.
Today, I just wanted to go over some basic financial aid facts for the practical nursing program. About 90% of our students receive some type of financial aid, whether it be a federal Pell Grant or a federal direct student loan. And actually, most of our students receive a combination of both, grants and loans to help with their educational costs at the practical nursing program. The application process can be found on the LPN website. If you look under the tuition and fees link, you should also see a link that says the 2021-2022 financial aid information. If you go to that link, it will go over our financial aid application process. There are 3 steps that you need to do in order for me to determine eligibility of what you qualify for the practical nursing program. You should actually submit your FAFSA as soon as possible, because once you are accepted, like I said, what I will do is I will calculate your eligibility to see what you qualify for. Once that happens, then I will email each student a financial aid award letter, which goes over the eligibility for the program. We also offer payment plans for students that might not want to apply for financial aid. We would offer a breakdown of the tuition and fees over the level rather than one lump sum. It's very important that you complete the financial aid application process as soon as possible, because like I said, only until you receive your financial aid award letter will you know what your financial responsibility is to the program. If you have any questions throughout the program with the financial aid application process, you can certainly contact me and I can help you. And that's about it.
Thank you, Jeannie. So I do have 2 administrative assistants that work with me. I have Marianne O'Keefe, who's not on the panel, but she is here as a guest, and she assists with the financial aid portion of this. So she's available for questions throughout the week if Jeannie is not available here. And then I also have a second assistant, Barb Dalco, and she will help you as you begin to start the program. So she helps more with the admission kind of things. And do we expect, okay, with the admission kind of things as we go through? I'll do my best to answer your questions at the end. Sorry, I got distracted with that. The other thing that I do want you to know is that if you go to our website, we do have like a step-by-step admission process. And I want you to know, to be considered a candidate for the practical nursing program, the individual is required to complete the TEAS test. And the TEAS test is like a pre-admission exam. And this test just reviews reading, English, math, and your science skills. So once you take the TEAS test and you get a passing score, the application and a non-refundable fee of $260 must be submitted to the program. This allows us to start collecting the required payment work for the program. So after you submit your fee, your $260 fee in your application, you will then receive a code to begin submitting required information such as background checks, physical, and transcripts. Now, students who are foreign or educated out of state GED, they have an additional step, and they must attain a certificate of preliminary ed through the Pennsylvania Teacher Management System, also known as TIMS. And directions for this are on our website, but I'm just letting you know that you do have an additional step. The student at the same time should start applying for the financial aid. And it's really important to do this as soon as possible because as Jeannie said, you as a student will know what funding is available to you prior to starting the program. So you will know, what you need or what you don't need, and you will know how to plan for your financial portion of the program. If at any time you need assistance during the submission process, we're here to help. So you can contact our email, it's lpn@dciu.org, or you can call us at 484-423-7003. So the DCTS Advantage, the Delaware County Technical School Practical Nursing Program Advantage. Why choose us? Well, I think tonight I tried to show you some endless benefits of enrolling in our program, as well as the opportunities that you may have upon graduation. If you're still looking for reasons to join our program, realize that we do offer a full accreditation by ASIN, who is the Accreditation Commission for Education in Nursing. This is a nursing accreditation. If you're picking a nursing program, whether it's this one or any program, you want to be sure that it's accredited. And if you can pick one that has a nursing accreditation, that's even more valuable. And that's valuable to the employers who are employing you. They will often ask, did you graduate from an accredited program? And more importantly, if you decide to go on for a school, whether it's going to be an associate degree or a baccalaureate degree or even your master's degree, whatever you want to go for, they will often ask if the program was accredited and who it was accredited by. So if you're looking at nursing to nursing, they're very interested to see that you went to a program that has a nursing accreditation. We are also approved by the Pennsylvania State Board of Nursing. The other thing is, as you saw earlier, our program does have the #1 return on investment for higher education over a 10-year period in the state of Pennsylvania. And that is out of all the associate degree programs and all the colleges. You would be surprised to see how many LPN programs are in the top 10. I take pride in that we got #1 for this, but #2 is just is a good program as well, and so is #3. So, all the other technical schools that have these programs, many of us are up there as well. I do want you to know, just like any other higher education program, we do have financial aid and we do have grants available for students. We got a lot of funding this year through COVID. We had also applied for a Pennsylvania TIP where we got some funding. So, in the past 2 years, we see there's more and more funding available for students that are coming to the program, and that's on top of the financial aid. The other thing that I want you to know is, it is our goal to prepare you for the NCLEX PN test that you have to take at the end. So, I do believe that we truly offer an incredible program that leads students here to success and to their desired position in healthcare and the workforce. I've always thought that this program was the best kept secret in Delaware County. And I know other people say that about their jobs and their employment, but I do believe that. I do believe that the value here and what you're going to get out of it in the end will surprise you and everybody that knows you. And I say that because I see students that graduate from here consistently that send their family members and, people they know, back to our program. So the other thing, at this point, I'll say, I do have another short video clip from a recent graduate of our program who is excelling in her current role. And I can also tell you, the student graduated, but right after she graduated, now her mother is also in our in the next class that came in. So go ahead, this is Sata's video.
I'm a fresh graduate of the LPN program here at DCTS. I first got the opportunity to become an LPN through the director here. I didn't know what I was going to be, but from going through this program, it made me to be a proud nurse, to want to be a nurse. One of the most exciting things about becoming a nurse is the many opportunities that is out there for me. I mean, if I don't want to be next to the bedside, there's other areas I can go into. I like people, so I'm going to be at the bedside for a while until I get old and hopefully go to teaching. If you're a high school student and you want to help people, this LPN program would be a great place to start because it has state-of-the-art things, equipment for you to do hands-on experience. If you're somebody who's shy, it puts you out of your comfort zone for you to learn before you actually get into the actual field of nursing. And you have great instructors who are willing to be by your side, step by step, to make sure you have a successful career as a nurse. What I would like to say about the staff and everybody that work here is thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough for your patience alone, for your knowledge, for your experience that you have taught us, hearing your stories, and even seeing you was once a nurse, give us hope of becoming a nurse. And I am very grateful for all of that you guys have done, not only for me, hopefully for my peers as well. Now that I've completed the LPN program, my career path is to become a trauma nurse, explore the new opportunity that nursing has to offer. I'm excited to be because it's an adventure every day, taking care of people, learning about people, and making people's life better than when they come in.
I am Sata Thomas, and this is my DCTS pathway to becoming an LPN.
So Sata joined us directly out of high school. She had attended the Delaware County Technical Schools high school program, where she was pursuing a career in healthcare. So she is right out of high school. So we welcome her, and we're curious to see where her future is going to take her. So now at this point, we made it to the end of our session. So I'd like to host a Q&A segment. So if you submitted a question in the chat box, we're going to try to answer that now.
Okay, our first question of the evening is, do you expect a 1199C payment?
We have had students who have come through the program through the 1199C programs. So I don't know, Jeannie, can you answer that anymore? We do accept the 1199C payment, if that's what you're asking.
I'm really not familiar with that
Okay.
type of payment. Sorry.
So yeah, we have, I believe the answer to your question is yes, we do accept payment from 1199C.
Great. Our next question. Where do we purchase our books from?
You can go to our website and see where you can purchase our books, because the list of books you need are on the website. You can purchase your books from students that may have gone here before. You can purchase it. You can purchase a used book. You can purchase a new book. But we leave that up to you now to purchase your book, in the hope that maybe you could, get it from somebody who's already gone here.
Fantastic. Our next question. When is the deadline to submit the TEAS test?
The TEAS test, if you're interested in the program, you should sign up to test for it now. You can go to our website, and if you go to our website, you can, it'll tell you exactly how to sign up for it. But that's the first step. You want to take the TEAS test, and then you want to, see how you do on it, and you want to see if you could secure a place in the program.
Great.
So the deadline is, I can't say there's an exact deadline for it. As soon as our class fills up, then we're going to start admitting for the next class.
Fantastic. Is there time to submit for the upcoming September class?
Yes, that's why we're holding this session tonight. This is normally when we start testing for our September class. We test through June. So this is the beginning of June. So, you will be testing now directly through ATI. When COVID came, we changed the testing situation a little bit. So you can test now directly through ATI from your own home.
Fantastic. What day in September does the program start?
It's usually the day right after Labor Day. I don't have the date right on me for that, but it's the day after Labor Day is when we usually start.
Great. What is the passing score for the TEAS test to be considered in the program?
That's a very good question. Normally, we like you to be a 50 or above, but we will consider 44 to 50 if you take a review remedial course through us.
Great. Do you provide childcare?
We do have an Easter Seals program here that does provide childcare to the students in the LPN program as well as the employees that work in this building.
Great. Do you have any online or evening classes?
We are not an online program. We are an in-person program, although we did go remote when COVID hit. We were remote within 3 days. We're extremely proud of that. So our students missed no time, and those students are now out there working in jobs. We're hearing that they're getting their jobs now from that first class. So we really are an in-person program. So we don't have evening or online courses right now. But if we're prepared, that if COVID, I should say we're prepared, I can just kind of like put on my gear right here because it's sitting right here. But we're prepared should something happen if we had to go remote again. And we were prepared at that time, which we were very proud of.
Great, thank you. Is your class first come, first serve?
Pretty much. Yeah, the sooner you enroll and get a spot in here and get everything in, yes.
Okay. This next question, how long is per time and full time take? I think we might need a little more clarification on that question.
Maybe they're asking part-time and full-time. So we don't have a part-time program. We only have a full-time program. So our program, it's actually a clock hour program. It's 1,500 clock hours, and it usually spreads over 11 to 12 months. It's full-time Monday through Friday.
Perfect. Our next question. What is the process of going from an LPN to an RN?
It depends on where you go. And it depends on if you have any courses, that you may have taken already at other courses. Many students will take the route of going LPN to associate degree at a associate degree college and then working their way up to BSN. I personally would recommend, knowing what this program has to offer and what I've seen, in comparing it to a baccalaureate program, I would recommend RN to baccalaureate. There are programs that you can go to. Stacy went right to Newman University. She was the one that was on the video earlier. There's Excelsior Regents College that's out there. There's a lot of opportunities out there that our students go to. I just say, make sure it's accredited wherever you end up going.
Great. Our next question. For the first few weeks, will we have clinicals or is it all lab work until we've learned the skills?
That's a good question too, because, originally we would have all class and lecture maybe the first 4 weeks, and then we started with the skills. But with COVID, we changed it a little bit where we did the lecture and then we got right into the skills, and students didn't start to go to clinical until level 2. So that's still kind of, up in the air because we found a lot of success in spending a lot of time on the skills in the classroom before we went to clinical. So, when you think about clinical, like the lab, simulation, and clinical, they're all kind of one, because you're learning practical things in those areas. It's not theory that you're getting so much in clinical. It's more you're experiencing and performing the skill.
Great. Our next question. After submitting the TEAS test and application, when are you notified if you have a seat in the program?
Well, if Barb is on here, Barb likes to call you immediately. No, Barb will get back to you within just a few days. I mean, you'll get your T-score right away when you take it. It'll come right on your computer, so you'll have an idea of how you did on it. But yeah, well, once our goal is to get you in, once you meet the criteria to come in, and then you need to, part of getting the criteria though is getting all your background checks and things like that together and submitting them electronically to us so that our facilities can see that you have everything you need to go there.
Fantastic. Kate, can you remind us of the hours for the program?
Yes, it depends on what level you're in. In levels 1 and 2, you're in class on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and that's from 8:15 to 4 o'clock. On Thursdays and Fridays, you go to clinicals or lab or simulation from 7 to 2:30. If you're in levels 3 and 4, it reverses a little bit. So in 3 and 4, you will be in class Monday and Tuesday from 8:15 to 4, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is 7 to 2:30.
Great. Our next question. Should I apply for my FAFSA before completing the TEAS test?
I think you should complete your TEAS test first and then do your FAFSA.
Awesome. Are you required to purchase the ThinkPad laptop?
Yes. That is part of the tuition right now, because it's really important that all of our students have a good working computer and a computer that can support a lot of the technology that we use as we go through the program. So that is included in the cost of tuition, so your financial aid can help you cover that.
Great. Can I buy my book as an ebook, or do I need a physical copy?
That is a very good question. And, I guess you should reach out to each individual teacher as you're going through the program. But we could get a little more clear on that on the website, and we could ask the teachers what they prefer and then put it right on there. I know as you get into the higher levels, I know that e-books are okay. And in all honesty, it kind of depends on who you are, if you like the technology or if you like the paper book. So I know that, carrying a book around, and that's what we used to have, is a stack of pile that weighed 100 pounds. So the computer has really helped with that. So I can't really answer that right now. That's a question I'd want to ask each individual teacher.
Great. Our next question. Is the TEAS testing a challenge, and what should I do to prepare?
Well, if you go to the website for TEAS, which is available on our website, they will direct you to, there's a book that you can buy to review, or there's a review course that you can take before you take the TEAS.
And is there a cost for that test?
Yes. Yes, that would be on the website as well.
Okay. Do any clinicals happen on weekends?
Only makeup clinicals. So if you were to miss time, we have a pretty, we have an attendance policy. And basically, it says that if you miss time, you have to make it up. So if you were to miss time, you would have to make it up on a weekend.
Great. Will we be notified when the program is full for September?
I'm not sure what you mean. Will you be notified if you're accepted? We would notify you if you were accepted. And then when the program's full, if you applied, we would ask you if you wanted to be put into the next class, which would be February.
I think that was a great answer, Kate.
Okay.
Is there a time frame that the TEAS needs to be taken before enrolling?
You should be taking your TEAS test now in the month of June for September.
Great. Is the program hybrid?
Due to COVID, we did do a hybrid. We first started out by just being at home. Everybody was at home and we were Zooming and we did it that way. And then we did go to a hybrid method. But right now we are all back in place. But, you know, with the way our world is right now, we could always go back to a hybrid, or we could all end up back home. So we are prepared for either, but you know, our goal is safety for everybody. So, you know, if the governor says that we have to shut down, then, you know, we don't really have much of a choice but to shut down, but we do have a plan in place. So,
Great.
but right now we're back in person.
Okay, and this goes along with that. In September, will classes be in person?
Yes, well, I hope so. We are planning for in person, yes.
Perfect. Do I submit the TEAS test score via email?
You can call the program and Barb will advise you to go to our website and she'll take you through the steps. But yes, you can always email us at DCIU. I think it's at the bottom of this page. I can't see it, but.
So it'll be
Rachel?
LPN at
Yes.
DCIU.org.
You can submit it there and then we can get back in contact with you. That's checked on a daily basis.
Perfect. Our next question. Is the LPN program 12 months? Some programs advertise 12 months and sometimes longer.
Ours is 12 months full-time.
Are we required to be vaccinated?
I believe, and that's a really good question to ask. I believe moving towards the future and looking towards September, if my clinical facilities, so if the facilities or the long-term care or any place we go, if they require us to be vaccinated, then we're going to have to be vaccinated. And I believe, go ahead.
That's to be the stance that the technical school and the IU will be considering in terms of medical placements. We will have to follow the procedures of our clinical placements, hospital settings, nursing home settings, and follow whatever policies, procedures they have. So right now, there are a couple institutions, hospitals that are requiring vaccinations. We will see what happens over the next month or so.
Michael, do you know if your facility is gonna, is there any talk in your facility about that yet? At Genesis? How about KC, or is your organization looking at that?
So at this point, it's not required, although it is case by case. As you can imagine, we have some families that are requesting their nurse to be vaccinated.
That's a good one too. And I don't believe that Genesis or Brandywine Hall is requiring it of us right now, but that could change at any moment.
Okay. Our next question, is it discounted for Delaware County residents?
I believe the tuition is the same for everybody.
Yes, tuition is the same for everybody.
Perfect. Can you take the TEAS test more than once?
Yes. But you have to wait a specific period of time before you test the second time. And that information is on the website as well.
Great. I am taking English classes currently. Can I apply for the program before I finish my English as a second language program?
You can apply at any time that you decide to apply. That would be a personal decision, yes.
Okay. Do you have provisions for student loans?
Jeannie, do you want to?
We participate in the federal direct loan program administered through the Department of Education. Is that what you mean as provisions? I guess I'm not clear on that. But we do participate in the federal direct loan program.
Okay, this question might be able to help that last one. What kinds of grants are available?
We participate in Title IV financial aid programs. As a student at the practical nursing program, you may qualify for the federal Pell Grant program. This year for the 2020-2021 academic year, the maximum was $6,345, so $6,345. And this year we also participated in the PA TIP program, which is offered through FIA, the state of Pennsylvania. This year we also got funding from the Department of Ed called CARES funding, and also HERF, Higher Education Relief Funding, for students affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So there are the three types of grants that we offered this year. For the upcoming academic year, we definitely will participate in the federal Pell Grant program, the PA TIP, and the CARES and HERF funding is based on availability. So we're not sure at this point.
Great. Does the TEAS test allow us to directly send our scores to the school?
Yes.
Okay. Another question. I have all of my clearances from last year. Would I still have to do a background check?
You'd have to look at our website to see what the timeline is for accepting them. But I would definitely look at that first before you go out and do it again.
Perfect. And then I believe our last question our second to last question at the moment, what is your late policy?
So that would be in our handbook, but I can just kind of tell you offhand that currently our policy is you're allowed to miss a certain amount of time throughout the program, but all time missed has to be made up. So you're allowed to miss up to 8 days, and there's a specific number of them that can only be clinical days. If you're late for a class, then, and it's a theory day, not a clinical day, your teacher will probably give you an assignment as a makeup. But if you miss a clinical day, you will have to make it up the entire day.
Perfect. A question right here. If we take the TEAS test at home, can we use any laptop, any type of laptop?
If you take your TEAS test at home, you will register through ATI and they will tell you what you need, what specifically you need to have on that laptop to take the test.
Perfect. And then our last question that I've received is, what is the school code for the FAFSA application?
Okay, our school code is 031284. Again, 031284.
Thank you so much. Okay, we actually have one more question and then we'll move on to our finish. What do you do with your laptops after the program?
The laptop is yours.
Perfect.
You own the laptop. So, you know, you come into the program and you purchase it and it's yours.
Okay.
So I would like to thank all these prospective students and panelists for joining us, as well as our DCIU administrators and the faculty that were here from the LPN program and that made this event possible. Please do not hesitate to contact us at lpn@dciu.org or call us at 484-423-7003. We also have an Instagram and Facebook page at Delco Tech LPN. And the other thing I just want to share with you is to remember the information that we received tonight is available on our website. It's dciu.org/LPN. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we hope to be part of your pathway to becoming a licensed practical nurse. I would like to end with one last video. This is a current student in our program. And, you know, if you want to stay on and watch it, that's fine. And if you don't, that's fine as well. But we really do appreciate you coming. And we tried to show, you know, students who graduated a while ago, students who just graduated, and then we have somebody now who's in the program. So thank you for everyone who attended tonight, and a special thank you to the people from the panel that were here. I really enjoyed sharing this with all of you.
enrolled in the program, I was a massage therapist. I became one about 10 years ago, and I was debating whether to do massage therapy or to go into an LPN program. Ultimately, I chose massage therapy, and 10 years later, here I am doing the LPN program. I'm really excited to learn about all the different departments and fields that are available. My oldest daughter inspired me to pursue a career as an LPN. She's had lots of medical issues since birth, so we've been in and out of the hospital, and all the nurses and doctors that have taken care of her so far have been wonderful, and I just want to be part of the team. I see my career taking me, honestly, everywhere. There's nursing jobs all over the place, so I'm not really sure what specific area I want to go into. I would tell the prospective students for the DCTS LPN program that this is no joke. It's very serious, and you're going to learn a lot of information. I am Brittany Hodges, and this is my DCTS pathway to becoming an LPN.
Thank you again, and we're here. If you have any need, just call us or come to our website. Thank you for joining us.
Perfect. Thank you to all of our guests and everything. I do just want to remind people that the step-by-step on how to apply is online, as well as this recording of the open house. It will be available to view again tomorrow morning. Thank you all and have a great evening.
Thanks.
Thank you.